Hello, welcome to this new series that I'm starting called Doodle Town, and I'm pretty excited about it. I think it's kind of like a very loose world building project that I feel like, I can just kind of make any kind of drawing for. If you didn't know previously, like I did like Pomble Quest related things, which was very like monster tamey in nature. So the subject matter was quite limiting, at least for me. And I feel like deep down, all I really want to do is just draw little guys. Like I do like drawing other things, but little guys is like my bread and butter. Like I can do that. I mean, I do that like all the time on my own anyway. And I just thought that would be a good thing to start doing for YouTube because I kind of miss YouTube. I don't know, I like making videos and there's a lot of ideas that I want to do, but I just felt limited by the stuff I was doing previously, so that is why I'm doing Doodle Town now. And Doodle Town basically is just gonna be a world where all these characters can exist. I feel like I always like doing that for any kind of drawing I do. Like I just like having like a universe where these characters can exist and like interact with one another. It's something that is very like, I don't know, I don't want to say core to who I am, but kinda. Like I'm always like world building with things. I just think it's more fun that way. I like for things to be canon, and I'm making all these like original characters anyway. So like why not like chuck them into like a universe, even if it's not like all fleshed out or anything. But yeah, Doodle Town's gonna be a lot more looser. Like kind of everything will go in there. It's basically gonna be like my miscellaneous, which is hopefully gonna keep the stress of like having to make something good very low actually. So a lot of this stuff is just gonna be a lot more experimental and like just for fun. And I can even invite like people to collaborate and then they can add to the world, and there's no stakes. Like you can just add whatever you want because it is just like a silly town, a Doodle Town. So yeah, that's the plan. I have some new villagers here today that I've made. I have like this goal recently that I'm going to draw every day for the rest of my life. Ideally, I should have been doing that already, but I don't know, it's kind of hard to pick up sometimes, but when you're just drawing a little guy every day, it's pretty chill actually. So yeah, I just thought I would try to also turn it into content and just see where that goes. And it's been going good, but I think I'm gonna start reverting from doing the shorts every day and then start really like just like doing the YouTube videos first and then making the shorts from that or something. Because right now I'm making the shorts and then I'm kind of compiling them into making a YouTube video. Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to sort that stuff out. So bear with me as we like, get our bearings. Yeah, enough blabbing. Let's get into some Doodle Town folk. All right, I'll see you on the canvas. All right, get out of here. Get out of my room. Bye. Okay, and here we're gonna draw our first ever townsperson, townsfolk, or villager. Haven't landed on a term. I don't want to use villager because it's too much like Animal Crossing, but it does sound the cutest. Okay, anyway, here we have our first ever townsperson, and I really wanted this first character to really set the tone for the rest of Doodle Town. So I was thinking hard and I was like, I should make a new character, but I had this other character that I recently made in this YouTube video I did with my friends on this channel called Whip Studios. Be sure to check it out. I actually really like that video. But yeah, in that video, I came up with this character and I love it so much. He's definitely one of my favorite characters I've made in a minute. And I was just like, I think I really want Doodle Town to have his vibe. So I just thought, let's migrate him over into Doodle Town and let's have him be the first ever villager. And so here we are. Here we have our little, he's kind of a like security dog alarm car situation. I feel like he would be a good like neighborhood watch kind of character. He just like goes around, checks to make things are safe, but he's not maybe like the most like capable. Like all he is just like a barky alarm. Like he doesn't have any kind of way to facilitate security other than bringing attention to everyone else, which I think is good. I mean, that serves its purpose. I mean, he's basically just like a notification in everyone's face. Danger, danger, bark, bark. That's the kind of vibe I'm going for with him. Yeah, I think he's really fun, and yeah, I just love him a lot. I'm really hoping to establish more characters kind of in this style. And there we have it. This is our first citizen for Doodle Town. Meet Scramble. Originally, I did name him Barkbot, but Okay, the name is a little too basic, I think, even though I kind of like basic names. But a friend of mine recommended the name Scramble, and I do really like that name, and it was kind of endearing that it came from a friend, so I think it's the perfect name for this little fella here. I went back and forth on the colors a lot, but ultimately I like where I ended up. I feel like the orange and the reds, they really played to like that alarm nature to it, and I want to stray away from like the typical police cop colors. But yeah, that's our boy Scramble, our little security neighborhood watchdog. Now let's move on to the next villager. So for this character, I actually asked my comment section for emoji combinations to turn into villagers for Doodle Town. And this is one of the first emoji comments I got. It was a frog and pants emoji. And yeah, I mean, pretty straightforward and fun. I feel like people love frogs. Immediately, a frog in a pair of pants seems kind of funny. I really didn't want to go the super obvious route, but at the same time, it felt right. Sometimes you just gotta go for it, even if the idea is quite on the nose. The best I could do was just try to make the drawing at least somewhat interesting. But yeah, I thought this character would be really fun. He would run pants shop in Doodle Town, and I kind of came up with this lore that he loves all sorts of pants. Like, he carries pretty much all types, but the only types he doesn't carry are skinny because he just doesn't think you can get like a really good jump in them. And that's kind of like his MO. Like, he's very persistent about being able to jump comfortably in your pair of pants. So yeah, he does not carry skinny jeans, and if you bring them in to get them tailored or something, he will not accept them. He's just very anti-skinny jeans. But you know, maybe you can prove him wrong. Maybe if you are able to jump in a pair of skinny jeans, he will reconsider. But yeah, there's our second villager for Doodletown. Introducing Ribbert of Ribbert's Pants. I played around with a few colorways for this guy, but I eventually just landed on classic blue jeans and green frog. I feel like the drawing was already very classic, so I thought I would spice it up with the colors, but it just didn't feel right. And again, the character is kind of a joke within itself, so I just feel like it's good to go kind of straightforward here. But yeah, we have our second villager to populate the town. Now let's move on to the next. Alright, so for this next character, we got this comment here with a beaver and cheese emoji. And when I saw this emoji combination, an idea immediately came to mind. I thought it would be funny to have a beaver character that is constantly being mistaken for a mouse because he's kind of rodent-like, or is a beaver a rodent? I don't know, let me know. But you know, kind of mouse-ish, has some similarities. And he's also is carrying a block of cheese around, so he is constantly being mistaken for a mouse. So that's why I went ahead and gave him this kind of grumpy disposition. And to add a little bit more to his lore, the idea is that he was a former construction worker. You know, being a beaver, I feel like kind of associated with building dams and stuff. So yeah, he's just working like his little construction job, and one day his coworker packs cheese. It's a good source of calcium, protein, and just a nice snack overall for lunch. And our character here, he was quite intrigued by it because he's never had cheese before. His coworker gives him a little sample and he loves it. Our character becomes obsessed with cheese. So he begins buying all sorts of different kind of cheeses, bringing them for lunch every day. And then eventually he even gets into trying to make cheese himself because he just gets so into it. And as he's bringing his homemade cheeses to his coworkers like, man, this cheese is really good. You should think about running this as like your main job. Like, oh, what are you doing with construction, man? And our character loves cheese so much that, you know, when his coworker gave him that push he needed, he went ahead and opened a cheese shop. But then he started running into this new problem where people kept mistaking him for a mouse, since, you know, mouse are pretty heavily associated with cheese. And he's not a really big fan of this. He's pretty proud to be a beaver. He loves being a beaver. So, no, at first it doesn't really get to him, but after running the shop for a while and how often he gets mistaken for a mouse, he does start to get pretty grumpy, and it starts becoming his general disposition. Everyone around town knows him as the grumpy cheese store mouse. But there we have it. This is Mickey. He runs Cheese Beaver. I originally named it something else, his cheese shop, but I thought Cheese Beaver kind of sounded like cheeseburger, and that idea really stuck with me. Plus, I think it's funny that he gets even more frustrated that the fact that, like, how does everyone keep mistaking him as a mouse when the store is literally called Cheese Beaver, but everyone just thinks it's a pun on cheeseburger. But yeah, that's Mickey. I really like him. He's really simple. I don't know, I think just that story to him like gives him that extra like little zest that he needs. Moving on to our next Doodletown citizen, we have this comment here with a bug and coffee emoji, which I kind of interpreted as like cafe. So with these emoji combinations, I try to be creative with them, but sometimes it is difficult. I mean, so far, like I've done frog wearing pants, beaver holding cheese, and then this time I am going to do bug holding cafe items. Yeah, it's hard to combine them, but I thought the imagery was interesting enough. I mean, the bug body lends itself to being very fun with the idea of like this cafe worker or runner who is juggling all these items, like all these different kind of drinks, and getting everyone their order and cleaning up tables and all those kind of things. So even though like the idea was kind of basic, at least the imagery would be kind of fun. And yeah, for this character, I also went with this face that kind of has like these mandibles. I just feel like that is at least what keeps it a little bit more interesting, because my default would have been to do a big smile and like a little button nose. I just feel like that on that bug shape is always very, very cute. It's very like tried and true, but you know, I wanted to change it up for this one because I was already doing a very like straightforward idea. Just a bug trying to run a cafe the best he can. So I did land on his cafe being called Bugs and Mugs. I just feel like, you know, it's very fitting. It's a bug and he has a lot of mugs. Also, I added that eyebrow to kind of make him just a little different, but now I keep seeing it as like an upside down like cat kind of face, and it's really tripping me up. But with that, we have Petey, owner and head barista at Bugs and Mugs in your very own Doodletown. Alright, here we arrived at our last character, and actually for this one, I wanted it to be a little special since all the ones I've been doing are basically kind of scrapped from, or not scrapped, but they're used from TikToks and YouTube shorts. So I wanted this one to be kind of special to the YouTube video and kind of exclusive. And I thought, what better character to do that than the mayor? If we're gonna have a little town, I think we need a mayor. So immediately I was just trying to think of some general things. I didn't go based on emoji this time. I just let the mind wander. And yeah, I started off with kind of this mustachy situation. I don't know, mustache just gives mayor. I think probably the mayor from Powerpuff Girls is seeping in a little bit in my head. But I also thought maybe this light bulb head motif would be kind of fun to play with. And then I also thought thinking like about a melon head also, because I have like this melon figure on my desk that also has a mustache, so that started kind of blending in. I eventually kind of removed the motif because it wasn't really playing in as much, and I thought it would be better used in another future character instead. But yeah, there was a lot of pressure, I feel like, for me at least, for the mayor to be something I really, really liked. I mean, it's not like I hated the other ones that I've done so far, but they weren't hitting the same as much as Scramble was. Like, Scramble really, really hits it for me. So I really wanted the mayor to be, I mean, I don't know, mayor is like a very crucial position, right? I mean, especially in Doodletown, like everyone's gonna be like, who's the mayor? Who's the mayor? And I feel like I do want them to be kind of like a mini celebrity in the town. But yeah, I really wanted this next character I made for me to be really, really happy with it. And yeah, I love him a lot. I just feel like he has that little bit of zest. He has that little bit of uniqueness that I really love in characters. And it's giving lots of mascot vibes, which is very up my alley. So our character Neil here, he's lived quite a long life. Long enough to be one of the founders of Doodletown. And back in the day, before he was mayor, he was an inventor. He's made many inventions in his career, but his most notable and most beloved is mayonnaise. The people loved mayo, so he became quite popular among the people. So when Doodletown was forming and they were looking for someone to lead them, they decided that it would be Neil here, since he was so beloved by the people. And they would name the position after his invention, Mayor, the person who mayos. And there we have it, Neil McEdison, Doodletown's mayor. Now that I think about it, he kind of looks like an upside down QP mayo bottle. But yeah, this is the mayor. Mayor McEdison, and I quite like him a lot. I think he's very cute, very charming, and I hope you like him too. And if not, we can always have a re-election. But yeah, that's our first 5 characters in Doodle Town, and I'm happy with the cast. I think they're fun. I feel like it can only get better, and we'll see where it goes. Yeah, so I have like basically 2 that are just like free form, and then the other 3 were based on emojis, and I don't know, I'll figure all sorts of ways to add characters to this world. Yeah, I think it's really loose, and you know, they're all kind of in a matchy style right now, but things could change, and we'll just see where it goes. I'm really excited about it, and I hope you tune in for more Doodle Town content. Okay, all right, see you around. Bye. I know you want to stay, but you gotta go, okay? Okay, all right, bye. No, you hang up. No, okay, I'll hang up. Okay, bye, for real, bye.